health and a little wealth and a lot of love.
Yeah, so what path do you usually follow when you're looking for a new real estate investment?
Yeah. So not all real estate is good real estate. It's not. So I will talk about my own personal experience. I'll talk about a friend of mine who gave me permission, by the way. So location. Location is everything. I don't think you can do this in California. The average home there is like 900,000, $1 million. You know, that's a pretty significant, that's a huge barrier to entry, you know? So I think having a good location, to take a little risk. You know, Emily didn't want to take the risk that I wanted to take, so we had a compromise. That, you know, that's the key to marriage. You want to tell the folks what house I originally wanted?
It was definitely not in maybe a well-developed area.
Right.
And so safety was a consideration.
Yeah.
But it was still, I would say, in the same condition as this house was.
Yeah, it
was
was
still a lot of work. Both were a lot of work.
It was. And I remember going outside and pacing on this one house that you just didn't want to buy. It was next to I think it was next to a daycare. I mean, this house had like daycare, and I was like, oh, do they have kids out there? Because listen, I like kids, but I don't want to listen to the kids next door.
Well, not only about listening, but when the houses are as close together as they are, when you're this close to the city, you don't want anything to happen to the kids if they run behind your car. Or, you know.
Well, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to be close next to daycare, neither did she. But I was willing to overlook it because it was like $100,000 cheaper than what we were looking at, and the house was nice. It was pretty well built, and I could have done the basement pretty nice.
Yeah, it was already fully renovated.
It was not like this house,
turnkey ready. Yeah.
Right, and then we looked at some other areas, which was way more expensive, but it was a house in 1900s, but it would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And once you have an older house like that, you have to replace. You don't know what you're going to get into. You open up the wall, and you're like, oh,
foundation issues.
Yeah. So we talked about location, but also you need to understand like the structure of the home. I wasn't comfortable. I was very comfortable getting a house that was not on a foundation, because let's say you have plumbing issues, you have to dig into that foundation in concrete. I didn't want to do that.
The alternative is a house with a crawl space.
Exactly. I think that's important. I think if you do want to get in real estate, you really need to get into the construction, what things cost. I think that's very important. Again, there's so much good information out there. Charlotte is absolutely ridiculous for prices. I wanted to get my driveway done because it's a safety issue, because someone swiped my car a few times. Don't worry, it's only Emily's high school car, because again, you know, I want to live like no one else and be like no one else. I drive Emily's high school car still, a Millionaire at 35. You know, so I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, I want to live differently. I'm digressing, but I think it's important to understand what your local city offers and finding really good contractors. I've curated a list of contractors, and what really motivates contractors is you keep coming back to them. And and they're really fair. They're like family almost now. You know, We'll all have some Coronas and some beers sometimes after we're finished. You know, I always buy them lunch. I really try to take care of them, because very hardworking people, and I think it's very important to make sure that that's part of it. That's not on the list, but that's just something to think about. Other one is interest rates. So if you think about interest rates, those really will impact your real estate investment strategy. I don't think right now is the good time. You have to do a cost-benefit analysis, understand your rate of return. Like, do you want to be cash positive? Let's say you see a really good deal. Like, you know what? I'm going to pay $100 and $200 more per month, but it's a really good deal. It's going to appreciate. It's intersecting like the outskirts of the growth and where it needs to go. Look into that, guys. It's not hard to find. It's all online. You just look online.
And if you don't have that,
drive around.
If you don't have any type of benefit that lowers your interest rate, I mean, you always mention you can always refinance.
Right. Yeah.
If you have the ability to wait it out long enough.
Exactly. And you can refinance in a year or two. Interest rates are high, but man, that's a really good deal. I think in the Charlotte market, people don't care about interest rates. They want to buy because there's no available housing. And so we'll let you know on that because I'm trying to sell on my rentals now. So we'll see how accurate that is. That's a
I
real
guess
estate
the
agent say.
alternative is what, paying a rent every month, just throwing money away.
Yeah, which I'm a huge proponent of not doing that. There's just some good benefits that you can do for both. And I always talk about cost benefit analysis. So I'm already ahead of myself.
Cost benefit analysis.
Yes. So return on investment, cash flow, capitalization rate, looking at your expenses versus what it would be, what it would cost. And this is what I'll say. And I got this advice and I didn't agree with it until now. They say that just buy a house. You're going to learn so much more by taking on a project and just getting started versus not starting at all. If you do too much analysis, it's not going to be perfect. Other example I forgot to mention is one of my friends, her parent passed away. RIP. Do not sell your grandma's house. Do not sell your dad's house. Don't do that, guys. Don't. Try to keep generational wealth. That's what I say. You know, holding on to these properties. Now, if you sell the house and decide to buy another house, do it. Do it now. Do it. I'm serious. Do it. And so we had this long conversation, and I told her, I said, no, like, you're running away from, sacrifice a few weekends. Do it. You're going to be glad that you did. And you may not come out on top, but you took your dad's house that was a little dilapidated and you brought it up to the standard. You found a contractor that's so well priced, because some of the things I was seeing that they're doing would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. They got it for like 40, 50,000, which is a lot. I'm not saying it's not. And she's going to refinance. And I said, just do it. You know, just keep it there and do it. And then do a cost benefit analysis of rent and maybe sell it and then reinvest it in something else. And, you know, look at that town. Do you like Google it? Like, are corporations coming to that town? You know, what a friend of mine would look at the United States and actually see, like, oh, Amazon, there's big Amazon executives, they're going to move in here, and they'll go in there before it happens and buy these $200,000-$300,000 houses, put like $300,000-$400,000 into it, and sell it for millions of dollars. It can be done. That's really aggressive, and this person is a trust fund baby, so I don't think that's a very fair example, but it's something you can do is consider.
With a little health and a little wealth and a lot of love, that's a life that we live. Suits and scrubs.